My name is Wayne Perrey, the TV Carpenter. Welcome to Daily DIY. I was supposed to be doing DIY talks at this year's Idle Home Show, but as we all know, everything's been postponed. So I thought I would do some DIY mini videos, daily ones throughout the week that will inspire you and give you the confidence to fix all those little things in your house. Today I'm going to be talking about electrics and the fuse board. It's a talk that I do with my business partner Steph Bron from the DIY Doers. Whenever we do our DIY talks, we always start with this talk, and it's really important whether you're renting a homeowner or you are new to DIY, because if you learn what your fuse board does, it can keep you safe. If you're anything like my wife, who's actually petrified of the fuse board, she won't even open the doors in case she gets zapped. But I want you to know that it's completely safe. The fuse board, like this one here, I put it on my screen. This one here is there to protect you. It's covered in plastic. It's totally safe. You can touch this. You can touch all the buttons on the top of it and you will not get electrocuted. If you pull the plastic casing off and you unplug all the circuits and put your fingers in there, then there might be an issue. But the way it's designed is designed to keep you safe. So my main job today is to give you a quick tutorial at what all of these buttons do and how you can utilize them so that it keeps you safe, and also it means that later on down the line you can do some DIY in your house. So if you think all the electric comes into your house, it comes in one big thick cable, goes into your house, and then it'll go to your meter where you read your electricity meter, and then from there it'll go to your fuse board, which is this. And from here, this organises all the electric and then it spreads it around your house to all different areas of your house. And what all of these buttons do, different circuits, they isolate different areas. If you had a problem in your house and you panicked and you go, do you know what, I just want to turn all the electric off in my house, then you would go to the main switch. It's the biggest, the reddest, sometimes it's brown actually, the biggest button on there. If you flick that switch, every inch of power that goes into your house will go off. So you'll have no power. And that's fine, keeps you safe. If you just panic and you go, do you know what, I don't need any electric in the house for any reason, that's the button you would press, right? But sometimes if you're working in your house and you want to isolate certain areas, you don't want to turn all the power, because your freezer will go off or your boiler will go off or everything will go off. So you want to be able to isolate different areas. And how that's done is all of these circuit breakers, all of these switches along here, they're all individual circuits and they represent different areas or rooms in your house. And at the bottom you'll see this little white area. Normally your electrician will have written in what room it is, or they'll put a sticker which will highlight the area of the room. So for example, one of them might be upstairs lights or downstairs lights, or upstairs sockets, downstairs sockets. One could be the garage or outside lights, or your kitchen and your bathroom. Your kitchen and bathroom tend to be on different circuits, particularly your kitchen, because it draws different power levels. So you've got big high-end equipment in there, like your fridge and your electric cooker, your washer dryer. All of these things draw more electricity. So your kitchen will definitely have a different circuit. Sometimes your boiler will, or if you've had an extension, your upstairs or your loft will have a whole different circuit, which represents circuit breakers. So if you want to isolate an area, so for example, you're changing a light fitting in your lounge, and you can change things as long as you're confident you know how to do it. But if you wanted to change a light fitting in your lounge, for example, you would go along your circuit breaker, find the area that said lounge or downstairs lights, for example, flick that switch and you should be safe to do so. How I check that there's no power going in there, what I would do is I'd turn on my downstairs lounge light, then I'd get my wife to stand in the lounge, and then I'd go to the fuse board, flick the switch that said downstairs lights, flick this switch up. If I flick it up, and I'd shout to her, has the lights gone out? And she'd go, yay or nay. And then I would know that there's actually no power going to that ceiling light, so that I know I can safely work on that light. And that's the same for all of the circuit breakers. So they represent different areas. And it's, like I say, it's really helpful if you know you've got a problem in one room or something's tripping. And when I say tripping, we've all seen it before where, say, one of your light bulbs will go. Light bulbs will go and it'll trip the circuit. And that means what this has done, it's like a a safety area in that it's the weakest point of the whole circuit. It's like the old Christmas tree decorations. Do you remember you used to find the white bulb? I'm showing my age now, but you'd find the white one because that was the weakest one. And if you changed the white one, it had a thinner filament in it, it meant the circuit would work again. And it's same for here. This is where, if there's any problems, it detects it here first and this will go off. You see RCDs? There's two of them. There's one there and one there. Each RCD looks after this many circuits, and this one here looks after this many circuit breakers. An RCD is residual current detection. So what that is I've got a puppy. I've got a little boy Harper, a little dog. If he decides to chew through a lounge lamp, for example, soon as he bites through and he detects that there's a different current happening, something's not great, this is super sensitive and it'll flick and go off, and it'll stop a power coming to all of these circuits. So these are super important if it detects there's something slightly skew-if with power sources or an earth source. So all of these things here are there to help you. So what I want you to do is open up your fuse board, look at it, just become acquainted to it, and kind of work out, where each room is represented and where, what's being looked after. But make friends with your fuse board, because down the line it's going to help you when we move on to other areas where on DIY, where I'll be talking where you might have to isolate some of these areas. Hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, go to thetvcarpenter.com. Check out my webpage, and on there there's links to the DIY Doers group. It's a Facebook group. It's like a free mum's net for DIY. And if you have any questions on there, you can ask the group, and everyone's there supportive to help you. But also, like I say, you can also ask me directly, send me a message on my webpage. Hope this is helpful, and I hope you're becoming a DIY doer, and thank you for listening to me, the TV Carpenter.